Hellenism is alive and well in Canberra, flourishing and developing ways that are unique not only to Australia, but to the rest of the world.
Is it Macedonian Christmas? So who's coming up?
Auntie Julie, my mother-in-law.
And who's this?
Whoops.
Who's this?
Oh yeah.
Don't be silly.
Speak like your father.
Bloody things, yeah.
Thank you, John.
What other things you say?
I don't know. I would have my revenge.
Saturday the 6th, Sunday the 7th.
Loser. Loser.
Was the Christmas? Oh, it's Christmas Eve, it's the Eve, is it? Oh, okay.
Hey man, I have finished it. Hey. Ooh. Yeah.
Full of horrible face. The worst face you ever did.
No.
Is that the worst face you ever did? You look a bit like
I'll make one. I'll make one.
Oh, thank you, Manuel. Your days are number 2.
I'll try and make one.
No, no.
I'll make one.
What does Leon look like?
Like, you all think it's funny and stuff, and it's embarrassing when the whole family watches it. So
Yes.
don't
So be
play.
careful, Christopher.
Bloody things, yeah.
I've had practice before.
She's trying to get on, aren't you?
What's wrong with the camera?
Got a chin table over here, right?
It's just sworn.
You got a problem? Get down.
We got already dirty the place.
We're gonna go near the end because the escape for kids. Look, his camera, say hello.
Oh, your kid's younger, maybe you do need to dominate.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
Oh no, Irene needs to escape as well.
Don't talk to your auntie like that. You were there when we did it.
You can sit on the couch for a minute.
Yeah, so sit down and
I think you guys are going to be over here.
It wasn't this morning.
There's not enough room. Is that Manuel's zucchini? Auntie Julie's pasticcio. Andrew's cut chicken that they roasted. Manuel's flowers cooked by Yaya. Tiropides by Jules.
It's coming later.
Tomatoes by probably Afro. Salad by Lani. Coleslaw by Margie.
Mouth by Annette.
And there's Brian. She's by Annette and Emmanuel.
That mine was that mine was
Way.
Sorry?
Get out of the way.
Get out of the way.
Oh.
Yeah.
Could I have the camera? What about these two? Tell me.
Oh, the flowers, Mama. Excuse me, daughter. Mama, the flowers here.
Yeah.
This is the piece. I've got to say, guys, you don't understand the amount of work that's gone into these flowers, right? Every day we pick 10 of them and bring them over, right? Every day.
10 days.
So you each allowed as many as you like.
Okay.
But no more than 10.
But you have to make a
Is that what
special
you've got every
request.
day? 10 out of them every day.
And every morning, you've got to, tomorrow morning or tonight, you've got to say to yeah, can we have some more tomorrow?
Hallelujah.
3 months, it took to grow.
Okay, everybody
We did it that.
No, you can't. You're sitting here.
We do things in this
They're
big
sitting
way,
there
can't
with
we?
you probably.
Oh, I
We
can
drink,
see
we
that.
drink, you know?
They're borderline adults. They're going to
This is the look.
Yes. Do you notice that he's got a little thing of pubic hair running down from his belly button? And
Panties have got the face.
Mum,
he's hiding his belly button thing.
Terry.
What do you want, son?
Terry's butt.
Do you like pasticcio? Do you like pasticcio?
Oh, good dad, stop him.
Yep.
Damn you!
And now you don't hear it. So, what else you got to say?
It's a powerful one.
Tell me about Christopher.
You're going to get copped by Christopher later on with the water pistol. So, you're just stuffed. Okay? So you're out of the question. Just stay away from him, Chris, and talk to the hand.
She's, I'm so scared, I tell you.
I got some questions in my
So
head.
scared of you.
Prepare to be wet.
Prepare to be wet. Oh no.
Leave me out of it.
Oh, don't tell me about it.
How was your break?
The break was fine. It was very relaxing. Apart from getting wet on the first night, apart from getting christened by Saint Emmanuel the Baptist. It was fine.
It's fine. Nice in camp.
Very pleasant, very relaxing. Sorry to see this this lovely property go ultimately. A lot of memories attached to it.
What are the memories?
Well, the good old days.
Yeah.
No more questions. Come on.
What are the good old days?
Oh, there were some fun times over the past. When was it? I think one of the very first times we came down was in 71, 72. We were living in Sydney.
We're living in Sydney.
Used to come down, drive down on an Easter weekend or something. Come down and visit you all, and it was very pleasant. Very pleasant. Lovely yard. Lots of happiness and enjoyment. All be missed.
Do you get christened then?
No,
Baptised? So it took a while to get baptised, huh?
yeah, it did, but I had to wait for Emmanuel to be ordained first to become credentialised, so he can do his baptisms and.
Christopher.
Have you been ordained?
No.
No. What did you say?
What about me? I'd have to be a saint to be ordained, wouldn't I? I'm not a saint.
Baptised.
Oh, you baptised me just after you baptised my
I'll
husband.
baptize you.
No, thank you. One only gets baptised once in one's life. Careful, water on the camera.
So what do you think of the game?
No, it's not bad.
It's awesome.
I'll probably use it on a kid called Johnny Graham. It annoys me so much. I want to get him in the face with this. Ah.
Face.
Oh
You
yeah?
knock his head off.
You're good. Hope it doesn't.
Oh, don't be stupid.
Where'd you get it from? Your mum or your dad?
Which?
The mean streak of yours.
Probably. I wouldn't know.
You
Probably
wouldn't know.
Leon. Probably Leon.
That's right. Well, there you go. So
he father you, Leon.
therefore he gets it from his father.
Yeah.
His mother's a gentle person.
Oh, yep. We really agree with that.
Who's the grumpiest one?
Shit's obvious.
Me?
No.
Oh no, Daddy.
Which one do you love the most?
Right now, the Super Soaker.
Yeah.
Which one's your favourite?
Oh.
He loves us both the same, don't you?
Mother?
You're embarrassing me, boy.
I'm embarrassing mum.
Why? Because he may say something I may not want to hear. It's all right. I know the other week he hated me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
The
now
usual stuff.
yeah, now so later, I love you, Mummy.
Oh, yeah. Oh. Too bad this isn't loaded fully and pumped.
The camera's not waterproof.
Yeah, it's a problem, isn't it? Quite a big problem. Yeah.
So you had a good holiday?
Oh, yeah? Too bad it's only... We leave on Monday morning.
Well, you can stay here.
Yeah.
We'll put you through basic training.
Oh, yeah? How much per hour?
You don't get paid for basic training.
I mean, how much do you want per hour?
Oh, Manuel just does it for the love of it.
Yes, as long as he can squirt you on a regular basis, that's his payment.
That's right.
6 o'clock in the morning.
It'd be funny if you could get up that early.
So who are we going to talk to? Tell me about your yaya.
So you good, yeah?
Yeah.
What's good about it?
Every time you could say I'd go up there, she'd probably get me something.
Really? What does she get you?
Things like toys, Mars bars, ice creams, fish and chips, the usual stuff.
Is she cranky?
Nah, not cranky.
The truth comes out.
Does she teach you Greek?
Just it's off now.
Oh no, not really.
So what did you learn from your grandmother?
Well, I can't really think now. I've learned something when I was a baby, but I can't remember. And even if I did learn something, probably haven't used it. Haven't used probably that method, or you could say that's speech, or wouldn't know.
Tell me about your brothers.
Well, I feel sorry for George because he's not going to be able to watch football live,
What was
which
that?
is a shame because well, you could see football to George would be God to a Jew or something. Probably pray to the leader of AFL or something.
You're not in this thinking. So he's in it, he loves his football. Do you
Oh,
like
yeah.
football?
Yeah, it's alright.
Sure.
Fisherman lose, well,
What do
most
you
love.
love?
Pardon?
What do you love?
Well, water fights, I love water pistols, which is right here, so a very big one, manuals. Can't think now. I like Greek food, I like, well, I love overall probably, let's see, computer.
You got a computer?
Oh yeah, in my room.
Yeah. What sort of computer?
You know Dad's old one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. It's too slow, it's the problem.
When are you getting PlayStation 2?
No, I've got PlayStation 1. And PlayStation 2, if Dad were going to get it, all he'd probably do is watch DVDs if he ever used it.
Yeah.
Mum would probably listen to music and watch DVDs. I'd play the games and of course watch DVDs and listen to music. Yeah. But I'm not really prepared to spend about $800 on something like that. You get it at Target for $750, but well, Target stuff you could say is down.
Is that right?
If you want to get some like proper clothes or shoes, you wouldn't want to go. Well, you can get some stuff from Target, but if you're gonna get some good stuff, go to Myer or David Jones or something. Well, David Jones is boring. But when Mum takes me to David Jones, it's boring. But if I do go by myself, it's not, because all we ever do in David Jones, when Mum's with me, is look around in his dumb clothes.
It's your ruthless, aren't you?
Yeah. I'm going to play this video back one day, Christopher, and I'll get my revenge on you.
What's it like having a son called Christopher?
A mouthful?
Only a mouthful?
Say goodbye. Good.
He's a good kid. I love him.
Oh yeah. Spit out the truth. Spit out the truth.
But he has to learn to show more respect to his older members of the family.
Yeah, okay then.
Yeah. He's a good kid. He's a bright student. He's a caring, thoughtful child.
Oh,
But like everyone, he's got his dark side.
Darth Vader over here.
So what's your dark side?
The rude mouth,
It's a good way to do it.
Probably is.
Zoran's
lack of patience.
that sort of thing.
No, actually, I do have full good patience for a kid.
From his digital.
I don't know.
Huh?
That's great.
You have less than I do.
Yeah, I saw his, that
There's this
gallery.
notion that when he snaps his fingers, his mother comes running.
Does she?
Sometimes, not always.
I'd say always. Yeah.
No.
Hanging on the line yesterday.
You don't have to get
Manuals.
a print and then go.
Yeah. So what's it like having a slave?
Oh, fairly
You
good.
leave it by
But
my.
only if
See you tomorrow.
she moved a bit faster.
Say
Like if she
hello
was
to
younger,
your
she
grandma
could
for me.
run, you could say.
I've met her a long time ago
Yeah.
when we were here.
Much better.
She's still the same. Too good.
Oh no,
Don't use that word, John.
the bitch.
Now you're teasing on the apple. Not nice.
I'm not teasing on the apple.
Not much.
I'm not. I'm just saying it was, you know, we used to make fun of it back in the old days when we used to.
Oh, you have a lot to talk about your old days. If you and Peter got together,
Okay, big question
not
is,
too
Oh,
close.
what?
yeah,
Has to be further
what
away.
was your mum like?
Mum was, she was and she is and she ever will be a very nice lady.
What was she like when you were younger?
Careful
Was
what
she-
you say now.
Was she a bitch?
No, don't be silly.
Lolly.
Don't be silly, man.
What kind of mother was she?
No, she was a good mum.
Was she bossy?
No, she was fairly liberal. She let me do my own thing from morning till night. I used to go off and do my own thing, then come back at night and Mum would have dinner ready. And you know, we used to go around terrorising people left, right and centre all day with all sorts of mischief.
So the big question comes, was she a good slave?
Yeah, perhaps she was too good a slave. She did a lot for us. But as we get older, we really start to appreciate everything that was done for us.
Yes, when you get older, you appreciate your mothers, don't you? Don't you?
When you're young, you think you've got the worst parents. You know?
At 50 years.
It's taking 50 years to realise that, though.
Better
Well,
late than never.
I'm a slow learner, Manuel. It takes a long time for things to sink into my head. And the older I get, the longer it takes.
That shows.
So what did you get from your mum?
For when? What did I get from my mum?
Yeah, what was the gift, the one gift that your mother gave you?
I think she gave me a bit of tenacity. Mum's very determined, and I think I inherited that from her. I think a sense of fair play, although you may not think it, Manuel. But,
Tenacity can also be interpreted as stubbornness.
no, it's tenacity.
It's
Let's
stubbornness.
stick to the euphemism, all right?
Is that what one gift your mother gave you? Tenacity?
I think caring and understanding.
Yeah, okay.
But Dad also gave me that as well. And I used to be pretty tough, but at the same time he was a fairly gentle person as well. He was a very fair-minded person, and that gave me a great perspective on life. But all these things come later in life, not earlier.
Do you see any qualities that from your mother and your
You
father
better
that
watch it, John. I'll be listening, I'll hear.
See, the boss is telling me what to say.
can you see anything that sort of come up through the children?
Yeah, I recognise certain traits like that the boys have exhibited. I think the older ones particularly, as they're maturing, they're inclined to be very fair-minded. They have a great sense of, I believe, decency. Have another biscuit, Christopher.
Where did you learn your sense of fun? Who taught you that?
My sense of fun. Now you're really having a go at me, aren't you?
Now you're pushing it, Manuel. This is over the limit.
Manuel, what's fun? How do you spell it?
That's true.
I sort of grab a bit of fun whenever I can, but sometimes I can enjoy myself a little bit too much and go over the top, and therefore I've got to curb it.
What do you remember most about 35 Edward Street?
The spaciousness of the backyard, the tranquility of the place. It was a fairly happy household. a great place to live, to be brought up as a child in.
What about all the visitors? All the
Yeah.
aunties and uncles who just
Now,
come over?
the visitors, the uncles and aunties were fine. It was really great when we had a lot of cousins come over. But the thing I didn't like whenever there were more Greeks passing through 35 Edward Street than at Station Pier in Port Melbourne. We used to have almost every Greek in Melbourne pass through. As soon as they come off the boat, they'd come to 35 Edward Street. That's where they have to go through the immigration check and get my dad's imprimatur first before they could stay in the country. So from that point of view, they used to come out and give me all the advice every day. As a young person, they used to come out and tell me what I should and shouldn't do in my older years, and the fact I should be proud to be Greek. And this went on every day, just about.
Did it?
Every day.
So why'd they come and visit you, Dad?
Exaggerated. Aren't you still here?
Why did they visit you, Dad? What was that about?
Oh, I imagine that there'd be lots of connections that people would get to hear about him and the way he used to help people, and I guess the word would get back to Greece, and there'd be someone that they could look up when they came out to a foreign country. There was that, and my dad also had a lot of association with certain people, senior people in immigration back in those days, and they used to sponsor a lot of people as well. So all in all, he had a fairly significant involvement with a lot of the migrant community, particularly post-war.
You came across many people that still knew him?
Every now and again there'd be people that you'd run into that would remember the old days and remember Dad. And it's gratifying to know that so many people still held him in very, very high esteem after all these years.
Right. What's
Do I face you?
no, that's okay.
No, I don't want the side of
What's
Anyway, yes.
his son been like?
What did you want to ask me?
What's John been like as his son? You better wait till I go.
No comment.
No comment. Here's your chance.
He is my
Here's your
well.
chance to comment.
All I can say that Anne and John and Anne are my well. Been wonderful to me, really.
Yeah, you're well.
Without John and Anne, I don't think I would have survived. That is all manual.
Well, you survived a long time, didn't you? You survived a long time, didn't you? And you spent a lot of years without a husband.
26 years.
26.
Long
How long were you
time.
actually married?
Half a lifetime, 26 years.
That's without a husband. Without Uncle George. 26 years
Yes.
by yourself.
Yeah.
And how many years were you married?
Oh, you've got me there, Manuel. I have to think, and I can't be bothered thinking.
Don't think what you think now. What would you have done then? Would you have given then?
Well,
Not what the understanding and maturity is now.
If it was if it occurred,
What year did you get married?
42,
within a
1942.
couple of years.
Did you
Wait a minute, how long?
Too soon.
Yeah, too soon, yeah.
But if you know, the passage
did he
of
die?
time.
25 years of married. Yeah?
No, look, I wouldn't have
25.
protected. No. No.
No, 30 years of marriage.
30 years of marriage.
30,
No,
yeah.
no, I'm inclined to be. We've all got our own lives, and we've all got one life to live. And I think
Mum asked
you know,
the question
happiness is the
of
most important thing. Whatever made Mum happy, I'd be happy with that as well.
Have you interviewed your mum with all that on
She won't do an interview.
Manuel?
She's just too busy doing her nails. She spends all her time grooming herself.
Manuel is talking to you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
Manuel is talking to you.
we'd better go. Okay.
Okay.
You're
All
lucky.
right.
Going now.
Before all the hard questions come.
Bye, Dad.
And Auntie, thank you, darling. Really appreciate your
Lovely having you. Come again.
thanks.
Just
Well,
thank you. I'll be back.
Anytime.
I'll be back in about.
I know where you live.
And
Gavin.
your boys.
Yeah, we have
And
to
your
come to the
boys
other
too. You're always
unit.
welcome.
Thank
We
you.
have to come to the other unit.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Okay,
Good, man.
It's okay, love.
You too, look after yourself.
I will.
All right, be a good girl. When I'm not around, you've got to be a good girl, all right?
Not much fun being
Otherwise
a
I'll
good
get a
girl,
report.
is it, eh?
Just say yes to him, and when he's gone, we'll have a party.
You look after your mum, all right?
You're going to be my little navigator.
Journey.
Thanks, mum. See you in the morning.
No pocket money? Dad always gives the pocket money.
He doesn't need pocket money.
Yes, I do.
No,
When your dad
he
used to
uses
give you pocket money.
his walking bank accounts.
I don't need pocket money. I need more than pocket money. I need millions of dollars. And that'll be right.
So your dad doesn't give you pocket money?
No, Mum does. No, actually, if you put it in realistically, Dad actually does, because Dad makes the money, and Dad gives the money to Mum, and then Mum gives me pocket money. So you actually refer to Dad as giving me pocket money. Sounds pretty confusing, but
Okay.
Cut it, Manuel.
Where are we
I'm
going?
not wearing my makeup
Come on,
here.
Come on,
let's
come on, come
let's
on.
go.
Oh, we'll see you later, huh? Bye.
All right.
Bye.
This is the
I'll
family
find
shop,
out.
huh?
Now, Manuel, tell me,
Yep.
are you leaving to go to your mother-in-law's now?
No, we're doing the interview now.
So you're going to be here for this other hour?
Maybe.
Okay. All right, then Christopher will stay here.
He's got to stay here.
You're going to stay here, Christopher,
yeah.
and be interviewed by Uncle Manuel.
Marathon session.
Christopher,
Yeah?
no mucking around, son.
This is a good Greek
The
custom, isn't
manual
it?
won't work. They're tinted windows. They're tinted windows.
This always reminds me of Uncle Harry and Auntie Jessie.
That's right. Come on, Jess.
No, it won't work too well with tinted windows.
Watch it, Jeffrey.
He never called Auntie Jessie Jasmine, did he?
Christopher, we're staying here, okay, with the grandmothers till I get back. Home secrets.
What's that?
I will.
This is how I make my money, is the blackmail, right?
I'm sure you
I haven't
do.
told Manuel secrets, so it gets me the place.
See you later, Dick.
See you later, who?
She just, Dick. She said, see you later, Dick.
Dick. Dinner Dick. Huh? What's a dick?
I think you already know that. Bye, Des. Bye, Des and Murray. See you, Des. Ben. Oh. See you, Des.
Let's go forward.
Careful your feet, John.
They come and lock up fine.
I'll see you in Greece.
Are you going this year?
Hope so.
Bye, Des.
Come here. Your little squirt. He's leaving me behind.
Won't be long.
No, no. Yeah.
So what were some of the questions you wanted to ask your grandmother?
So I think now I've got a piece of paper inside.
Yeah.
I can't think of it.
That's a good one. I can't remember what he's going to ask.
Yeah.
Do you often go on holidays with your grandmother?
Not
Holidays? No, not really.
No, really?
No.
So this is one of the first times, huh?
Yeah, probably.
Is your good grandmother to go on holiday with?
Yep.
Yeah?
She doesn't complain.
She doesn't complain?
No.
She doesn't whinge?
No.
You love your grandmother?
Yeah.
Good. Thank you.
How much do you love your grandmother?
I don't think my arm's long enough.
Come and show me.
That's a
Why is there
good
a
one.
baby?
Ah,
Show me. Show me.
that's a good one.
Put your arms around and show me. Go on.
Yeah, that's good.
As far as I can reach. We were bigger than
If
that.
I love you that much, if I let my arm will touch the sky.
So what have you learned from your grandmother?
I think that'll be enough for me.
Huh?
Yeah.
I can't really.
You can't think?
Can't remember.
Yeah? Can't remember what you've learned.
Reply what?
Oh yeah, I've learned how to play Dovely. That's right, yeah, Dovely.
Yeah, what's Tubley?
It's a game where like you have a big board, you have like two sections. It's a like you could say miniature wall in the middle. You could say like little stick thingies, like about 5 of them in each. You go 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like that, and you repeat that for both sides.
Yeah.
And you can use like little figurines if you want, or you can just use these little discs and you place them in any
you
order
mean
you want.
backgammon?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, backgammon.
Backgammon. Who's the better player?
Probably yeah.
Yeah,
But
she
I
beats
thought-
you, does she?
Yeah, but I've also taught Yara a game which she's only won
What
twice.
about the memory game?
I taught Yara a game called Memory.
And
The only time she's probably beaten me is about once or twice.
you never give me a chance to win.
Yeah, that's probably
that
true.
true?
Probably clean up the table.
True.
You don't give you a chance to win.
No, I end up cleaning up the table. It's an accident. And I'm good at fluking things, which I learnt off Leon. Leon's taught me how to play Memory, and when I first knew he sort of, you could say, thrashed me. And then gradually, as practicing against Yara, I was starting to thrash Leon. I clean up the board when he has like 3 pairs.
Is she grumpy at you?
No,
Does
not
she
grumpy.
throw slippers?
No.
Her mother used to throw slippers. Your grandmother's
Mum,
mum,
my great grandmother.
she used to throw slippers at her all the time. How come you don't throw slippers? Huh? How come you don't throw slippers? You did.
I can't remember whether I did or not. I might have at one time. I don't know. You ready?
Yep.
Ask me any question.
Okay. What was it like at school?
I loved it.
Did you?
No, I'm not lying. I'm lying, really. I didn't like it. I loved it while I was there, but because we were for our age, we were in a low grade. I didn't want it. Anyway.
Yeah.
What does that mean? What do you mean a lower grade?
From first, we went up to 4th grade. I left at the 4th grade.
So how old were you when you were in first grade?
10.
10.
Amongst the children, there was about 6.
I can understand.
Now, if you happen to see in your grade someone that is 4 or 5 years older than you, what would you think?
I think probably they might have come to our school, say, like they could have been maybe kicked out of the school and maybe gone enrolled in a new school, and they could have say been in a like year 6 or something.
What would you think? Is that what you would think?
Yeah, I was thinking probably that might have happened, or I'd probably ask.
You wouldn't think they were Adams?
A stupid, like a.
Yeah, being left in the same grade all the time. Although we weren't, no. We were, I tell you what, the 1st, 2nd, 3rd and 4th, we came on top. We came first. Just so that we can put up on a higher grade. But we didn't, we went, your papu, your your great-grandfather went to see the principal to put us in a higher grade because we kept coming up first. And the principal said no. So when I got to the 4th grade, that was it. I wanted to leave because I couldn't. I had to wait another year, for the next term to go in the 5th. And by the time I went in the 6th, would have been too old. In those days, it would, yeah.
So you're 14 at this stage?
Yeah, 14 I left, and then when I left school, I went to work. At 14, I was at work.
Did you go to
I
school
did
in
book
Greece?
binding, which was very nice. I loved that book binding.
you? Did you get to read any of the books?
No, that's different, darling. You don't read the book. We bind them.
Yeah,
we
you
made
put
the book to
the wire thingy stuff.
Not really. It's not wiring. It's difficult to explain it to you. We used to make beautiful books, bind them. riding pads and
Oh,
all
yeah,
those things.
like the swirl bits.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yep, yep, yep.
Riding pads. We used to book bind. We used to bind beautiful, expensive books too. Anyway, I worked for about 17 for 3 years, 4 years, and then I became engaged. I wasn't quite 19 when I got married.
That's pretty early. You were pretty young
Yeah.
too.
I was out and going to school and young when I got married. What else you want to ask me?
Why weren't you allowed to continue on with school?
It wasn't because I wasn't allowed to continue.
So you didn't want to?
What do you mean?
So you didn't, I meant like, did your parents want you to continue on with school or?
No, they didn't force us to go to school. They understood.
Wish Mum and Dad let me do that. You're not good at school.
But you're different. I know that.
Yeah, I know.
But our case is different and yours is different. You have to
Yeah.
continue. Yes, there we go.
What was it like to work at such a young age?
I loved it. I
Really?
loved it very much, yeah. I loved what I did. Yes, the next one?
Were you a naughty child?
Yeah, on and off, I
I
was.
can't believe you'd be naughty.
Yeah, well, I was. Yes.
What was the naughty things you did?
What were some of the naughty things you did, like play tricks on people or?
No, not tricks on people. We weren't allowed, we weren't allowed to do that. I remember once we went to see our auntie, and there was a little fence, and she kept saying, "Don't climb because you're gonna fall." Anyway, we didn't take any notice. I went under the fence there, started walking up our. And not only I hurt myself, but your great-grandmother, she gave me a belting then. But other things, well, as children we did other naughty things. I wasn't a good girl.
What kind of other naughty things? What kind of other naughty things?
When we'd stay out a long time in the room and go out to girlfriends' places without telling her mother. Nothing, you couldn't do anything bad in those days, really, except just tell lies and that's it.
Okay. What was it like growing up in Australia? What was it like growing up in Australia?
We loved it. It was lovely.
Was it better than Greece?
Except, yeah, I would say so it would. We loved it straight away. What was it? Those days were different to now.
Oh yeah.
We used to allowed to play out while it was dark with our girlfriends. You didn't. There was no fear in those days, but now you can't do it.
No, I do it with
Not
my
really.
friend.
Yeah.
And what was it when you? I know you were born in Greece.
Mhm.
Did you enjoy Greece when you were young?
Yeah. Yes, we did.
Did you?
We loved it then. We love it here where we came.
What did you do in Greece when you were young? What did you do?
In Greece.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Well, you used to play
With
in Australia outside. What did you do in Greece? How was it different?
Well, we used to find other things. Play skippy, hide and seek. What can you play? There was no toys nowadays. We didn't get any toys. No Christmas gift, no birthday gift, nothing.
Or,
Not only us, but everyone in the village. They didn't get anything when it's Christmas time or birthdays.
that's a shame.
Mm.
What was it like living in Manila and Essendon?
Manila, it was beautiful. We loved it. In Essendon again, we had a lot of parties all the time.
Yeah.
Full house all the time.
And Dad told me in Manila,
Mm.
he used to sleep upstairs in the building, and that's where all the chocolates were stored. I think Manuel couldn't work out what Dad did.
Yeah.
What did Uncle George say?
Chocolate galore.
What did Uncle George say?
Nothing.
Nothing.
I don't think he ever found out.
During the war, chocolates were scarce. So every time your grandfather came down from Melbourne, he came up with boxes of chocolate. Pollywaffles, it was that time they had, and I used to love pollywaffles. Chocolate frogs, and by the boxes he used to bring
The
them.
Freddo frog?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, what, he bring them for you?
Yeah.
When you were a girl, what were some of your favourite foods?
I would say everything. I was a good eater from when I was young.
So you didn't,
When I was a child, I used to like everything.
you didn't
I
enjoy
had no
something
dislike.
really, you didn't, so when you were young, you didn't enjoy something really out of this world, or?
You know, there was nothing out of this world that I enjoyed food. I ate everything. Anything.
So you enjoy all foods? You
And
still?
I still do. Of course I do. Yeah, I was a good eater.
Oh, yeah. What was it like bringing up a family?
It was a wonderful experience. It was beautiful. When your father was little and your Auntie Anne was little, they were the best years of my life, and still is.
What did they
Happy
do?
them.
What sort of things did they do?
Well, they found their own amusement with their friends.
All right.
Yeah. Can't think of
So, like, Auntie Anne would end up playing with the girls, and Dad would end up playing with the boys.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did Daddy have any girlfriends when he was young?
Who?
Daddy.
Not what I know. He might have on the secret, but I don't know. He never used to tell me everything.
What's the change?
But,
It's okay, go on.
but after when your dad was a teenager, there was a lot of girls after him.
Oh.
Yes.
Was the change when you moved from Greece to Australia a big one?
Yeah. A big one, because we didn't know one word of English.
Didn't you? So it was awkward.
No, all we knew was yes and no. We knew that much.
That's all I know in Greek, probably.
Yeah. And but it didn't take as long to learn.
So, when you came to Australia, did you when you said you just told me you only knew how to speak Greek.
Mm-hmm.
What were you
We
like
used to
when the
play.
teachers asked you? When the teachers asked you questions, how would you answer them if you had no idea?
That I can't remember. But I now remember it didn't take as long to learn the language, or read or write. As I said to you, we were good pupils. Auntie Yasmin and I were tops in the grade. We came first every year.
What did Auntie
Just so
Effie?
that we can put up. Well, Auntie Effie was, lower
Younger?
in the baby.
Was she younger?
Yeah, of course she was, yeah. But she wasn't, because she was all right, Auntie Effie, because she was 3 years younger than me anyway.
Oh yeah, so.
So that made it a little bit better for her. She went to high school, I think.
So did she continue on?
She continued on, yeah.
She might have been maybe a year older than the kids that the class that she was in.
Probably,
but
that's right. A year or two, so it wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
So.
At least one of the three sisters got a chance to go through school properly.
Mm-hmm. So,
But as you said, you were going up a year level every month or something
just
too.
yeah.
Yeah. So I don't really think you needed any more education.
The teachers couldn't get over it because we used to come first in the grade. I remember one time I said, look, I said, Julie and Jessie, they couldn't speak a word of English, and yet they came first in the grade. And now it's that you're born here, the Australian one, and you didn't get good marks. So you got pretty clever, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Oh, no. No, just, we did it just so we can be put up in a higher grade, but we didn't succeed.
So you put a really good extra effort into move up quickly.
We put extra effort, all right, but as we said, the principle is that no, it's the law. They've got to keep down and learn from the beginning. This was terrible, wasn't it? And yet now, after the war, when the war broke out, when the war was finished, all the New Australians, the girls and boys, they were put in the grade accordingly to their age. See how things are. So we were the ones that suffered a bit.
That's unfair, you could say.
Yeah. What else you want to ask?
Oh, that's all.
That's all?
Yep.
I'm glad. I'm glad that's all.
You're getting a bit tired.
Yeah, but what do you think of Yaya anyway? What do you think of me?
In what sense? Like,
that's your, you have to answer that.
in what sense?
Mm-hmm.
Probably I think of you kind. Probably say, as I've heard now, on the answers, I'd probably say you're pretty amazing. Not just you and all your sisters, Auntie Aphie, Auntie Yasmin, all you three, but I think probably, yeah. There's a book called Super Granny. You're probably the star of the book. Super Granny.
Anyway, I love you for it, darling. I love you. So that is all, Manuel. The episode is closed.
Episode 1. Episode 1.
No, well,
The
there's
Phantom
nothing
Menace.
else. There's nothing else that would I like to say. That
Episode 1. The Phantom Menace. The end.
Well, there's something I'd like to ask.
Yeah.
Mate.
Yeah.
Okay. How did you meet Uncle George?
Oh, Uncle George, he came as a visit one time at our North Fitzroy, right? But because I was so young, he didn't take any notice of me. So, and then I met him at the Wise Cafe as I used to go to work in the morning. And then I kept on seeing him. On the secret, mind you, on the quiet, yeah, Bapunya, I didn't know anything about it. And that's how we met.
So he didn't take any notice of you?
No, when your Papung brought him as a visitor, like Uncle Harry and Uncle George and others, they were around about the same age. And I didn't take any notice of it because we were only, the first time I was only about 13, I think, 13 or 14. But after that, when I was 18, then he took notice.
So it wasn't until you were another 4 years after you left work that he took notice of you?
Although I used to see him quietly in every time I go to work in the morning. And he used to wait for me, and he'll walk me all the way to Little Lonsdale Street. That's where I work. And then leave me there and can go back to Wise Cafe, it was called, a restaurant, a fish shop really.
So what did he say to you? What did he say to you?
Oh, Manuel, I can't remember.
I
can't remember after that, after
like
a few.
you,
That came afterwards. Afterwards, yeah.
Was he a fast talker?
He was. He was.
Was he charming? Was he charming?
Yes, very charming. I looked at him, he was tall, dark and handsome. I didn't ask about the age, I didn't care about how old he was, I didn't care he was years older than me, but it didn't worry me. No, it didn't worry me.
So was
The age had nothing to do with it.
how much older was he?
16 years.
16 years. So
That's
18,
Mhm.
30, above 30.
Yeah, still a young man.
And did he have any girlfriends?
He had a wonderful personality, dynamic personality. Yeah, he had many girlfriends, a lot of girlfriends in his days.
Were they
He had a
Australians or were
case
they?
full of fighters.
Yeah.
So what I did one day, I took them and threw them in the rubbish bin. They were all beautiful, Manuel.
Were they Australian?
Beautiful
or they
looking
were-
girls. Australian, yeah, all Australian girls.
So you
That
burnt
was
them?
jealous
Threw them?
part of me.
Yeah. When did you do that?
Hmm?
When did you do that?
After when we got married, of course, I wouldn't dare to do anything before we got married. It was after then we got married, and I thought I had to get rid of them because I was jealous. I was a very jealous person. Yeah, but
So did he ask you to marry him or did you ask?
he asked me.
Yeah.
He had to ask Papu first. Papu and Yaya. And
Did
of
you
course,
know that-
Papu, because Papu knew him before we came here.
Did you know that he was going to ask Papa?
Yes, he told me.
What did he say?
What I said yes. Go ahead. He wanted to ask my opinion first, and when I said yes, it's all right. Now, so I'll go and see your father and mother and get their blessings. And of course, Papu always liked your Uncle George. Yeah.
Well, he was more mature too, wasn't he?
Hmm?
He was more mature
If he was older, is that what you mean?
because he was older.
I would, yeah, I don't know, but he was an attractive man. He wasn't handsome, but he was an attractive man. He used to attract the women.
That's their personality.
Yes, age didn't matter to me really. Even if it was 20 years older, I still would have married him.
So he was living in Manila, was he?
Yes, they already had the restaurant in Manila.
So had he?
It was afterwards when he bought the business. Uncle Harry was there first. And then Uncle Harry, he was working for someone else, for a Greek man. And this man wanted to sell the business. And of course, Uncle Harry wanted a partner. So that's when he let Uncle George know, and he went up there. Engagement, when it was engagement, well, we didn't see much of each other. That's why we got married. We had a short engagement because we didn't see much of each other, being in Manila and now in Melbourne.
So he was walking you to work.
Yeah.
He was living in Melbourne.
Yes. For about a year, I would say, yeah. And then he got moved in Manila.
So he was walking you to work for about a year.
Yeah. That I can remember.
Did you go to the pictures
I
together?
can. Of course we did. Yeah, yeah.
Did you hold hands?
Yes. It's a wonder. Papu gave us freedom. We'd go to the pictures. We'd go dancing. We'd go, out there anywhere. He never stopped us. He never said no. Considering what Auntie Elaine went through, she wasn't allowed to go out with her fiance then. So we were lucky. There was no restriction with us.
So you had a boyfriend before Auntie Jessie? Jasmine?
Yes.
Uncle Harry was...
Uncle George did the proxignon
yeah.
with Uncle Harry. Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah.
What was that?
Proxignon.
Yeah.
Made them together. They're proxies. I don't know what it's called.
So you arranged the marriage?
Arranged the marriage, yeah.
Between...
Auntie Jasmine and Uncle Harry. Yeah.
How did he do
George did. Your Uncle George did.
How did he do that?
How?
Yeah.
By talking to your Auntie Jasmine.
Yeah.
Yes, I said this. I said, he's a nice fellow. Auntie Jasmine said, yes, all right.
Yes, she'll
And
meet
that
him
because
or...
he wanted Auntie Jasmine too.
So they met. They had met.
Yeah.
But they didn't talk.
No. They did the talking after they... although he used to come down. He used to come down to our place on North Fitzroy when they'd come down to do the market. that came down. So I don't know what went on then between the two of them.
So when you went to the pictures and you went out formally, that was when you were engaged?
Yes, I guess.
So when you were doing it secretly, where did you go?
Nowhere, to work. He used to walk me to work in the morning. And that was it. Sometimes he'll meet me after work and take me as far as the station. I used to go to by train then. But that was it. We didn't do anything secretly, nothing else, nothing naughty.
You didn't hold hands?
No.
No? So you
No,
didn't kiss?
you look very nice, eh?
You didn't kiss?
I thought I'd get dressed now.
Yeah, no, we did that.
So when did you kiss before you held hands?
Hmm?
You kissed before you held hands?
No.
No?
He used to kiss me when he'd go to work. He'd kiss me goodbye. That was it. And then he'll kiss me when he'll see, you know, to meet me again, and kiss me when I get on the train and go home.
So,
Who's this?
but you did not hold your hands as you're walking down the street?
At your
No,
house?
no, because we were too scared in case we were seen by friends or anything like that.
Did you kiss any other boys?
I won't answer that.
We won't tell anyone.
No, but that's a telltale. Yeah, that I won't answer.
You did.
Hmm?
At this stage of life, you can answer. Huh? Okay. So
That is
this, you got engaged in what year? What year was it?
41.
1941. So the war was with Japan had already started.
Mm-hmm.
So Uncle George would come down and visit you, and what would he bring
What would he bring?
from Manila?
Oh, a lot of things he used to bring. Gifts, chocolates, everything.
So how did he charm you?
How did he charm me? His personality. I think his personality had a dynamic personality, really.
And he was tall, dark and handsome.
Yeah, he
forgot
was
that.
tall, dark and handsome. I
forgot
used to
that.
love dark men. And he was tall. As I said, he was, I used to think he was handsome anyway.
Yeah.
What did he talk
In
about?
my eyes, I used to see him very handsome.
Did you talk?
Because we did.
What did you talk about?
Lots of things which I won't answer what we talked about. Yeah.
Did he have a
He
sense
was
of humour?
a
Did he
charming, of
what
course he
is it?
did, yes.
making jokes and
Yes, 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 he did. Promised a lot of things which I never got. That because of the business tied him down, and with the things that he promised me that he was going to go here and there, we never, unfortunately, we never end up doing except going to Greece. So that was, but he used to love outings. He used to love going pictures, dancing, picnics, everything. And he used to love having people around the house.
see what were the things that he promised you? Going to Greece is a big thing. In those days it was very big.
Well, he did promise me that, and he did take me to Greece. But because I was so, I think, because I was so adventurous, I asked for too many things, and I got nothing. I wanted this, I wanted to go here, I wanted to go there. They kept saying yes, yes, but I got nothing out of it. He said one day, so when I sell out the business and all, I will go here and there, but unfortunately he got sick. He didn't have much of a healthy life after he, in his retirement, he got sick, and that was it. We only had a few years of togetherness. After all these years of marriage, I used to go up to Manila every fortnight. I stayed there for about a fortnight again and come back, and I miss the children. When I lived here, when I used to be in Melbourne, I used to cry and miss the children. When I go there, and I feel miserable all the time. And yet when I was up in Manila, I used to feel miserable leaving your Uncle George behind, full of misery. But and that's why I got to hate the sound of the trains, you know, the whistle of the train and all that. I still do.
It's time to leave, eh?
I still do. Spencer Street, to me, I could never. It looks miserable. To me, it looks. I don't know. Thinking back it up, because I was in misery all the time, having to leave my family behind, my children behind, and then when I get to Manila, I had to leave my husband behind, and that was 8 years. It went on like that.
So 8 years you go backwards and forwards?
8 years, yeah. It's a long time, going backwards and forwards.
And how long did you stay up there when you went up there?
Sometimes 2 or 3 weeks. And then come down, stay another 2 or 3 weeks in Melbourne.
How long were you
And
in
then
Manila?
because
before you
sometimes
went?
Uncle George couldn't make it, couldn't come down, so busy.
How,
What is it?
how long were you living in Manila?
8 years.
You lived in Manila.
Yes, 8 years
Yeah.
we lived
So
in
what made you
Manila.
go
And
to
then we
Manila?
bought the house in Essendon.
And how many years you went back and forth?
Oh, how
That's
many
what
years back
when you
and
was
forth?
out
I
there.
don't know.
How long was it after when they sold out and come home?
About another 5 years, I
Right.
think. 4 or 5 years, about 5 years.
So
Back and forth.
let's go back. What I'll do now is change.
Leave him.
Would you improve him?
Oh, yes, for sure.
In what way?
I would marry the same, if I had a second chance manual, I would marry your Uncle George again. But I would be
On
a
your
little bit
terms.
different.
In what way different?
I'd make sure that I'd
what
be
you wanted.
determined to have my way to a lot of things. Would have been happier. I think it was a little, if I was a bit more, what will I say?
Bossy.
Determined or,
Determined.
what would you say?
Assertive.
Sort of,
Assertive.
you know, inclined to be,
She was a puppet. Eh?
You
Like
were a
we all
puppet.
were.
I'd be different, yeah, I would be different because things have changed so much.
Is that because that's a Greek thing, is it? It was a good
Yeah.
Greek girl, had to do what...
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
oh, I don't
Yeah.
know.
No, no.
No.
I thought it was, no, yeah.
So you'd still choose Uncle George even though it was short...
Definitely, I would still choose the second,
It's
if
a
I had a
short
second
marriage.
chance.
Even though you know that it's
Yeah,
gonna
but
be
I make it last. It doesn't matter. I still choose Uncle George.
What was the
If I
wedding?
had a second choice, if I had yes, a second chance, not a choice, a second hand, a second chance and a second choice.
And when you got engaged, what was that like?
It was wonderful. He used to come down every second week then. We go dancing, pictures everywhere. He loved our outings. He loved it. The only thing is that he didn't, as I said, we couldn't go anywhere, no holidays, nothing.
Well, those days really not for the people who did
Hmm?
holidays. People didn't travel much those days.
I know,
some of them.
those days I didn't travel much.
So you, did you have an engagement party?
No. No engagement party, but we had a good wedding.
Where was the wedding?
It was beautiful. It was a beautiful wedding. A lavish wedding it was.
Is that right, a lavish wedding?
Hmm.
Who paid for the wedding then?
Uncle George did
Uncle George.
everything. He paid for everything.
Yeah, right.
The wedding gown, the expenses, everything. Because Papu wouldn't, he didn't have the money. He couldn't afford to do anything. So that's one good thing about Uncle George. I'd have anything I wanted. He'd give me anything. That's one thing. Well,
Plenty of money, yeah.
have anything in the house, anything upon me,
Yeah.
he'd come with me, he'd choose the clothes. He had a very good taste in clothing, no matter how expensive it was. He would never have said no, too expensive. That I had a good life in that.
And where was the wedding?
That was in Collins Street. Yes, in Collins Street, I forget the name of it now, which it's not. It was like I remember you came downstairs. I can't remember.
In the
place.
basement, wasn't it?
It wasn't the
Is it the
Delphi.
same place as Yasmin?
It wasn't the Delphi. Near somewhere near Australian hotel somewhere.
Was it a church wedding?
Yes, definitely.
Where was the church?
Evangelismo. Evangelismo.
East Melbourne.
And where was the honeymoon?
Manila.
You went to Manila for your
Manila.
He was a
We
smooth
spent, it was
talker.
2 evenings in Melbourne in St Kilda Hotel, the Esplanade. That was a beautiful hotel. That's all. We just stayed for 2 nights there and come back to Manila, and that was it. I was happy. I wasn't. I had no grudge because we didn't go on honeymoon or anything.
Did you work? Or did you have a few days
Yeah,
off?
I used
in
to help.
honeymoon?
I wanted to help. I wanted to be busy. I wanted to help. And because Uncle George wouldn't let me. But I got in, I wiggled my way in there and did what I wanted to do. Yeah.
And what was Manila like
Manila.
when you arrived at Manila?
It was nice. But as I said, if I had a second, a chance, and Uncle George said to me, "We'll stay in Manila. We won't get." I would have stayed in Manila. Isn't it funny how, at the beginning, I never liked it, but as the years went on, I thought, "Oh, why didn't we stay? That was a lovely place." So if I had a second chance, I'd live there again.
Oh.
I'd live there.
So you were there for a few years and then you went to Melbourne?
At that time, I didn't like Manila at all. I hated it. I loved Melbourne. But as the years went on, I learned to love Manila. That's why if I had a second chance, I would.
And in Manila?
A second life. If I had a second life, I will choose the same man.
Oh, sorry.
You're right.
It's my mother
If
clipping your
I had
nails.
a second, now listen, if I had a second life, I would choose the same man and the same place to live in Manila. I'd be happy.
So you arrived in Manila, you hated Manila, and the place in Manila was the
It's just
cafe?
small because we had no friends, nothing there.
No other Greeks there?
No, there was, but I didn't have no other at our age. They were all older. But I had a lot of Australian friends there in Manila.
Was Auntie Jessie married at that stage?
Yes.
So she was in Manila?
She was in Manila too. Yeah, she was in Manila. But she came down before I did, about a year or two before I did, I think. Yeah.
And where did you live in Manila?
Spot Cafe.
It's a funny place to live. So you could live in the back of the cafe?
On top of it was a two-story.
Yeah. And what did you do there?
Every day the same thing, get up in the morning, come down to the restaurant, trying to help a little bit if we were allowed. Sometimes Uncle George wouldn't let me, because it was during the war, and a lot of soldiers, a lot of Air Force, rolled out. Uncle George said, "Get out of here." He would let me, but after that.
But you would have been good for business. You would have been good for business.
Uncle George didn't think so.
So how long before John came along?
2 years.
2 years.
Yeah.
So in the morning you would get up what time? Open the shop?
Sleep in, and sometimes Uncle George used to bring me breakfast in bed. Yeah, he used to bring me breakfast in bed because sometimes I used to wait for him. Because we didn't see much of each other, he was too busy during the time when, as I said, the restaurant was always packed. And I used to wait for him. 1 o'clock in the morning, sometime when they close, yeah. And of course, You'd say to me, well, sleep in tomorrow morning, don't get up, I'll bring you breakfast in bed and this and that, and he did.
And what was the breakfast in bed?
Tea and toast, and I used to love asparagus. I used to love asparagus on toast and eggs and toast. Yeah, he used to bring me that. Bacon and eggs, whatever I wanted.
You would have spoiled you.
Mm.
So you didn't see him until 1 o'clock in the morning?
Mm.
And what did you do with him?
I used to see him, but we couldn't get a word in. I know, I used to see him all day long. I'd be there in the kitchen or in and out. But we just didn't get a chance to talk to each other.
Was he still charming or was he busy?
No, he was he was charming in his own way when he used to come up. But being down there working and very busy, didn't have time to show any charm. So
was he grumpy then when he was working?
Hmm?
Was he grumpy then when he was working?
on and off.
The pressure.
He wouldn't be. The pressure was too much, too busy. The morning that get up, he never used to get us lie down in the afternoon or anything. And, it'd be open right through, on the move all the time.
Was it decided then that you'd have children straight away, or?
Well, the time has came after that it was time that we did start having a family.
So it was planned,
And
or
it was planned. It was planned. Yes, I wanted a family. As a matter of fact, I wanted a big family, but Uncle George is enough. It says 2 is enough.
So Uncle George decided.
So yeah, never mind. I'm happy to what I have. What Uncle George has left behind, I'm happy.
What is he left behind?
He left me 2 wonderful, a son and a daughter, and I'm lucky that I've got a roof over my head, because a lot of men in those days, they were big gamblers, Manuel. They were big gamblers, and I know a lot of their wives that didn't have even a house or nothing. So, no, I have no regrets. I have no regrets. He was a good man. And George was a good man, really.
So from John came along.
Yes, yeah.
What was he like as a baby?
The happiest day of my life when the first child arrived. Where I was, and so was your Uncle George. He, when he came to see me in the hospital, he said, "I said you made me very happy. You know that you got a son. He wanted a son. So did I. Then after that, I wanted a daughter, and of course, thank God for that. I've got the daughter. I've got what I wanted at least: 1 son and 1 daughter.
And how long did you have to wait for the daughter?
7 years.
So you could enjoy
There's a
your son.
7-year gap between Anne and.
So you had time to enjoy your son, didn't you?
Oh yes. Mm-hmm.
7 years.
Mm. Yeah.
And what did you think and feel when you saw John blossom and grow?
But when they first bought me,
yeah, and then you saw him grow. What was that like?
That was the most beautiful experience I've never had, and I never will. You know, it was a beautiful moment, a happy moment. Well, you know what it's like. How did you feel when you had your first child? The happiest moment of your life, really. That's how I felt, and whatever I missed out, as I said, Uncle George was always too busy whenever I went anywhere. Whatever I missed out, I didn't care, because I had my son then, and then Anne came along, and that was it. It fulfilled my life.
So John was 5 or 6 before you moved to
Yeah. Yeah,
Melbourne.
5 years. He was 5 or 6 years. He went to school in Kilo somewhere, but because we had to catch a train, I thought I'll take him to the Catholic church, because the Catholic school, Catholic school was just a few doors away from where we live. And of course, John didn't like it there. And he never used to tell me anything and never liked it either. But they never told me anything. If they did, I might have done something about it. Because in those years, they had a bit of a hard time at school too, because in those years when the Catholics go every now and have their Holy Communion, this and that, and they weren't, when they didn't go, the nuns, they were nuns then, they didn't like the idea, not going there. They tried to tell the nuns that they already had the Holy Communion, but there was a grudge against them because they weren't Catholic. And they were unhappy and we didn't know. They never told us anything. So I was there too, she wasn't happy there. There was a nun, it was called Sister Leela. And she'd be all smiles when she'd see me and all that, but she was terrible to the children, and especially the non-Catholic, when Dan was a non-Catholic, yeah.
Did they, so your children weren't so open with you?
The what?
They weren't open with you?
They weren't happy.
No, they weren't open. They didn't tell you things.
They didn't tell us anything. I don't know, because they must have sent something, well, why worry? Because, you know, there's nothing we can do. They thought there was nothing we can do about it. I could have stopped going to Manila and sing Uncle George. I could have changed schools, take them back Kilo when the first John, when he first went there. Because, yeah, could have done that.
You're going to Manila, did that affect them?
It must have. It must have affected them, but they never said anything. But looking back, I thought, oh, I haven't been a good mother, really. I thought how selfish I was, you know, to leave my children behind, and I feel so guilty. I feel so guilty at times, because I missed out too, the best years of their lives, you know, but too late.
Where did they stay?
Hmm?
Where did the children stay?
The children never complained. They never complained.
Who did they live with?
Yaya and Papu.
So
They were in good hands, of course, but that time I was doing the wrong thing without realizing it.
So they were living, Yaya and Papu were living with you? Were
Yeah, yeah, they were.
Why did you arrange that?
Hmm?
Why?
Because Uncle George wanted them there, and they didn't have a home of their own. They were renting it in North Fitzroy at that time. And he promised Yaya and Papu to come and live with us when we bought the house. And of course I did. I looked after the children well, but they never complained. I suppose they missed me, because I remember Anne used to say to Auntie Jessie, when is my mummy coming down? When is my mummy coming down? Because she'd go up there too, but she'll only stay a few days. As I'd stay for 2 or 3 weeks up there. That's what my guilt is, you know, I feel guilty for doing that. So, unfortunately, we don't get a second chance in life, you know, to straighten things out. It's sad, isn't it?
You don't think you straightened it out?
Hmm?
You don't think
If
you
I had
made
a
up for it?
if I had a second chance, that was had a second life, I would have been a better mother. I've been a good wife, I think, anyway. But as a mother, I loved my children, they were my world. But I didn't think straight. I didn't think right in those years. Because I loved I loved my husband too, and I wanted to be with him as much as I could. I don't know what made me do that, but I didn't like to leave him too much without seeing me. Because too many women there, too many girls. Maybe jealousy made me go there all the time. Neglect my children. Yeah. That is all manual. All right, darling.
So You don't think you made up for it, being the mother that you become as the years went on, and becoming the grandmother that you became. You don't think you made it up to your children?
Not quite. I loved my grandchildren. I'm trying to be as much as I can to replace of what my children have missed out on, but you can never be.
So, at what stage was the guest house? What was that phase? When did the guest house come along?
That was well after we bought the house. That was about they were in there about 3 years, I think, and then with our persevering, we made them sell and lead a decent life with us and the family and all that, which they did. They sold out.
Oh, so that was the pressure that you guys
That
did?
was, yeah.
That the women put on to the husbands to sell the cafe?
Yeah, we forced them to sell the
Because that was 7 days a week?
yes. So that was it. I sold and came down, but as I said, unfortunately, Uncle George took sick. And we have never enjoyed life after that, you know, although he wasn't well when he came down, but he still wanted the outing, like dancing and picnics and everything. It was still good. It's just that he never got a chance to go on holidays anywhere.
The cafe, the spot, sorry,
Spot cafe.
no, the guest house.
Yes.
When did the guest house happen?
That we bought that with.
So they sold the cafe and bought the guest house?
Yes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did you go up to the guest house at all?
Oh yes, I did. Yeah.
With the kids?
The same. Yes, there were school holidays. I used to take them with me. Whenever I got a chance, the school holidays I always take them with me. And the spot cafe and the guest house as well.
What was the guest house like?
It was a big place, 40 bedrooms, plus large dining room and a reception room and all that. It was good.
Did you work there at all?
No, not there, not at the guest house. There was nothing for me to do there because I already had the staff and the cooks and the laundry woman, the cleaning woman. They already had that, so there was nothing. I was just a lady of leisure. I used to go up there.
Did you see more of him when you went up there?
Yes, I did. I saw more of him at the guest house. Yes, it's good.
And in 1958, when you went to Greece with your children,
That was my happiest moment because we were together for for 3 months we were together. And then after 3 months together on the boat and then in Greece and then come back again and all that. And then I missed him all the more when everything was all over and we had to go back to Manila and all that. Yeah, I missed his company. Yeah.
so in 1958, Anne was born?
Oh, 1951 and was born.
So you took both the children back with
Yeah, yes, I would never have went without my children. That's one thing I would never have done. Leave them and go so far away from them. No, would never have done
What
that.
was it like going back to Greece?
What it was like, I was like a stranger there. And I didn't like it much. Until just at the very end, I got used to it. You know, I thought, oh, it's not bad after all. Yeah, but I think it was happy. I was happy because I was there with my children and their father as well, so it was good.
Did you go back to your village at all?
Yes, I went back. We went back. We stayed there about 2 or 3 days. But you can remember very little. The house that we were born, our girlfriends, I've met my girlfriends when we were little, they were, I didn't recognize them. Everyone looked different. It was a good experience, Manuel, to come back to. Well, that's the 3 times I've been all together, since 1933 up till now 3 times.
So 1933 is when you left.
Mm.
And how old were you then?
10.
So you'd been to school in Greece?
Yes, I have been to school in
Do you remember much about the school in Greece? Do you remember much about the school in Greece?
I used to like it. Yeah, I used to love it. We had a beautiful school there, and with her girlfriend, and I used to love it. It was good because I was kind of on the third, because there the children started 7 years of age, and I got up to the 3rd grade, and that was we left here for Australia.
So you went
You want to come to my rescue? Take over.
I'm getting a job for you to do something. You know,
Did what?
I'm doing a job at the moment.
All right.
Okay, so
Yes.
when you went to school, you're welcome to stay, Mum.
Yeah.
Okay. You, what was it like seeing Greece through your children's eyes when you took the kids back to Greece? What was it like?
It was heavenly for me because I had them with me. No matter where I went, even if I didn't like it because I had the children with me, I loved it. I think John loved it too. That was just a short period, but I thought, yeah, they loved it.
And where did you stay in Greece?
With my mother-in-law.
What was she
In
like?
Playa. Oh, she was a good woman. She was wonderful.
Well, was she educated? Was she the
So,
old school?
well, those years, there was no, the women weren't educated, but she was a clever woman, bright, clever. She was a good sport. She let me smoke, no complaints, because one of her grandchildren was saying one time, yeah, come and see the auntie, she's smoking. So yeah, said, that's all right. So she came out and she said to me, look, my dog, Korimu, smoke, I don't mind it, you know. Because she knew, she used to watch me from the window, and I used to go around the back or front, that is, so she wouldn't be able to see me, but she didn't mind. She was a good woman. Oh, I wanted to bring her here, but she didn't want to come.
So how old was she when you went back?
I've only
an old
seen
woman?
her once. She was in her 80s.
80s then, was she?
80s, yeah.
So her husband had
I
passed
think
away.
she might have been 80, 81. Just said I'm too old now to take to travel anyway, which it was true. Yeah.
Was she from a poor family, or was it, what sort of?
Moderate family.
Did you see Uncle George in it?
Hmm?
Did you see Uncle George in it?
Yes. No, I could. Uncle George has one brother, Socrates. Have you ever met him? You met Mangeli. Well, Socrates is more like Uncle George. Very much alike. The only thing is that he's short, not tall like Uncle George. But his mannerism, his looks and everything is Uncle George. And I hope I can live long enough to go there again, or well enough. I hope well enough to go there and see them just once more. I'll be happy then. So I hope it'll, God's will, if everything turns out all right, I might. If not again, oh well.
When you went back there, did you feel connected? Uncle George make you feel?
Definitely. I like Plumari better than where I was born in Arizona. I don't know, being there in Plumari among the family, I used to think that Uncle George was with me. I feel more at home, I feel more of, and I knew that he would have loved me to stay there with his family and not travel around, go to Arizona, go to other places. So that's what I did.
So when you
I
went
was
back,
happy to have stayed back. I didn't care if the only time I went around Europe, it was when your mum and dad was there. But I have stayed the 6 months. See, I had plenty of time to be with his family.
So you stayed with them in Plumari.
Oh yes, they wouldn't let me go anywhere else, but stay there with
And what was that like?
Wonderful.
Who did you stay with?
With Vangeli. Vangeli and Barbara. Yeah.
And did you see Uncle George in there?
In Vangeli, yes, I could. Yeah. I tried to, as I used to observe them so much to see what I could see in Uncle George. I did, but especially Socrates. Yeah, it was like being with Uncle George every time. As I said, I tried to observe everything, the mannerism and the question they ask and I used to ask them questions what they liked and what their lives would be and what I had done, and similar to Uncle George. Yeah.
When Uncle George took you back that first time, did he obviously was very proud to bring his Australian Greek wife
Yes.
back to and show you off?
Yes, he was. He was. That's why he didn't want me to smoke in front of his mother. He told me not to smoke in front of his mother. He wanted me to, because knowing what it's like there in those days, no women. I've never seen a woman smoke in those days in Plumari in 1958 we went. So I could imagine, I understood. I said, all right, we got Uncle George. I won't smoke in front of your mother, I'll smoke. But after when she found out and Uncle George knew that I got the permission from his mother to smoke, it was all right.
And what did you think of the children, the grandchildren?
Oh, she thought they were wonderful. Yeah.
Did she spoil them?
She was older then, because there was the other three grandchildren that she had. So she didn't have time to spoil anyone, I don't think.
Did Uncle George send money back to her?
Yes. Oh yes, quite a lot. I was proud of him because he's been a good brother. He helped a lot in Greece, the Evangelian Socrates. And he used to send money to his mother. His mother said, don't send me, I'm all right, I don't need the money. But Uncle George helped him quite a lot. And the brother from America, he helped a lot too, his brothers.
Did you meet him?
Yes, I have. Yeah.
Do you see the qualities of Uncle George and his mother and that coming through and in John?
Yeah. Yes, some of the qualities he's got of his father and some of the qualities he's got from his papoon.
Like what?
From his papoon. Like my father, I'm talking about. He was very a perfectionist. Papu was a perfectionist too. Well, John took after him. Yeah. Everything he wanted to do, he had to be right. Everything perfect.
Is that right?
In his work, in his looks, and his always clean, immaculate, yeah.
What was it like living with Papu when you first came to Australia?
When we first came, they were very strict, very strict. We used to sneak out sometimes with our girlfriends, come home late, not very late, but we used to cop it. Yeah. It didn't change anything though, we kept on doing it.
You
But in
remember
those days it was different, man. You weren't, it was only that the Greek wives that didn't want their children to give them freedom. But we had neighbours, the girlfriends, they were wonderful. There was nothing danger or anything if we went out a bit late or pictures and come home a bit late. There was no danger in those days to worry about us. The only thing was that restriction because of the Greek, the Greek habits. Yeah, was more strict. She was more strict than Papu. Because when I started smoking and then Papu found out, he didn't care. But Yaya, oh my goodness.
Was she cranky?
More than cranky, yeah.
She throw slippers at you?
But your Papu, your Uncle George said, well, it's around my husband. If I allow her to smoke, that's the same thing I said to my mother. So, well, my husband's allowing me to smoke, so you got no say. And then she stopped.
She stopped?
Yeah, she gave up.
Do you remember leaving Greece to come to Australia?
I remember the day.
Yeah.
It was a gloomy, rainy day. And we were feeling, I can still remember feeling miserable because we had to leave our friends and our home and all that. And aunties and uncle there. It was a miserable day, I remember. It was wet and gloomy. We got in the car for the first time, mind you. We thought that part was good, because we got in the car and we thought it was something different. And then when we went to Port Said, we got on the boat, we had to say goodbye to our uncle. Well, I cried and cried for days after that because we had to say goodbye because he was the one, Papu's brother. His name was Nicola, and he was wonderful to us. We loved him because we never knew our father. He was here in Australia.
Is that right?
Yeah, and we loved our uncle. We just loved him like a father. So and I remember I was so miserable on the boat. So miserable that I never said anything to Mum because Mum would, that I was miserable. Isn't it funny how you'll always, when you feel miserable, you have it inside of you? But yeah.
Did he come? Before come and pick you up, or was he?
Oh yes, when we came to Fort Melbourne, he was there,
Fort
and
Melbourne.
we recognised their father. Yeah, we recognised him by the photos. I remember saying to Mum, "There's Dad up there."
And what was it like seeing your father? What was it like seeing your father?
We were very shy of him. Yeah, and it took us a while to get used to having a man in the house. But because I loved his uncle, Uncle Nicola, because I loved him, I never, I thought I didn't look upon him, so I looked upon him as a father for so long. We loved him as a father, and when it seemed to be a bit cold towards our real father, yeah, you wouldn't think so, but it took us a while to get used to it. Auntie Yasmin was the same, and I'm sure your mother was the same too. But Auntie Elaine, she never had time to be with her father because she got engaged and married quick. The same year we arrived. We were here in 1933, and in March, 23rd of March, and she was married just before Christmas.
So how did she meet your uncle?
Through Papu.
So you arranged something?
Yeah, arranged. Yeah.
So you hadn't met your father before this?
No. It has been, but that's the thing, I was too little, we haven't, I couldn't remember. Because he went to America, he was in America so many years, he came back, and then he had Jasmine, and then he stayed back, and then I was born. And then I must have been about 3 years old when Papu left, and I couldn't, was 2.5 or 3, because Papu wasn't there when your mum was born. He was already in Australia. So we never knew.
So what was it like not having a father in the house?
I used to envy other children when they had their fathers there and but nothing we can do about it. See, when they in those days, you've seen but not heard. We couldn't say anything to our mother that we miss our father or anything like that because, but deep down I used to envy girls with their father there. Yeah.
So it must have been very hard for your mother.
It was. But she wasn't the only one. There was other women left on their own because there was no work for the men there. They had to travel. They had to go out and better stuff. There was no other work there. Otherwise, we had another uncle. His name was Xenophon. I mean, another brother. And he came in Australia and he made him come out here. And when our father came out here, he left him and he went back to Greece again.
So did your father intend to take everyone back to Greece one day?
My father never wanted to go back to Greece. Neither did my mother. It's fun, isn't it?
Never?
No.
And they never
She
went
never
back?
wanted to go back. Nothing. They were happy here. They never missed Greece or anything. They were happy. Yeah. That's what I was surprised, because at that age you think that all right, children, you grow up and you forget about your own country. But for Yaya, she was so old and so did Papu, and yet they didn't miss Greece. They loved it here from the moment. I've never heard your Yaya saying that I don't like it here, that she missed Greece.
But she never really learnt English, did she?
No, but she got around anywhere she wanted. She was a clever woman. Yeah, she learned English, yeah, but back to front sometimes. She was back to front like that. She got around. She could travel anywhere. She used to go to Hawaii on her own and go back to Junie and get a plane and come down. She was a very outgoing woman. Yeah.
What was it like with her in Australia back in those days when none of you knew English when you first came?
No, well, it was pretty hard. But as I said, children, they pick up quick. We had girlfriends, we went to school, we picked that up very quickly.
So were you translating for your mother when you go shopping?
Yeah, we did. But one time she went to the market on her own, and Papu told her to go and get a rooster, because a rooster makes nice broth. So she said, all right. When she got to the market, she forgot the word rooster. So she said to the man, I want a chicken. But no woman chicken, I want a man chicken. Because she forgot. Well, they laughed, so they were all laughing. Yaya used to tell us. But she got around. She was game. She wasn't shy or anything. She had a lot of go, I don't know. She could never found it difficult to get what she wanted on her own, except doctors, of course. In and out of hospital, she was a sick woman too from those days.
Was she sick? Was she?
Yeah, she had kidney problems and all that. Giving birth to 4 daughters, it wasn't easy then, those days. And the doctors, there's only one doctor, and that is just nothing, no hospital, nothing, just a midwife. But what can a midwife can do if your kidneys are trouble? And she wasn't supposed to have, the doctor said to her that you're going to have problems after you have your 4th child, then, you know. But anyway, it was after that. But she has lived till, I think she died at the age of 76.
When she...
as sick as what she was,
yeah,
she lived long enough. Yeah.
And how old are you now? How old are you now? How old are you?
78.
78, so...
Yeah.
The...
Old.
Well, you still, there's a young woman inside there.
Yeah.
Doing the shopping and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Any funny stories with when she fought young girls going shopping? And, can you remember anything of those days?
For us?
Yeah.
Oh, we used to do our own shopping when we went to work and had a bit of money. We wanted to choose our own clothes and our own, yes.
Was that a fight? Was that a fight?
Yes, it was. There was a fight, but we didn't take any notice at all. Well, we're working now, we're old enough, we thought we were We were only 14 when I started work, 15 we started. We thought we were old enough. But looking back, we were only kids then.
But making a decision at 14 and saying, I want this and I want that. What
Yes,
that
it was in those, it was for, yeah, it was a bit hard for her to take, yes. But we rebelled against things that we weren't allowed to do. Now, finishing, yes, finish, all right?
Sorry?
We're finishing?
No, no.
Yeah, I want to. I'm tired.
I'm tired.
Yeah, okay, no.
Right. Well, as soon as Sophie comes, we'll finish, okay?
But Sophie, now we were going to leave before Sophie comes.
We can't.
But we have to go, no.
Yeah,
We
no,
want to
we've
go
got
and see
Sophie.
your mother-in-law.
Yeah, that's okay.
We'll go
We've
and
got-
then from there
we've
we
got
come
Chris.
back. We have to
We've
get
got worry
ready
about
because
Chris.
we're going out.
We can't leave because of Chris. Christopher? Anyway, so let's just go back to it now. What was it like having sisters?
Oh, it was beautiful. That's why I thought of now when I get married, I want 4 daughters. So did Anne. It's funny how she said it, the same thing. Oh, she said, Mum, she said, when I get married, so I like to have 4 daughters because we were so close, you know, the sisters. But what you want and what you can't have, no, I like it that
You've
we
been
are
friends all your lives, haven't you? You've been friends all your lives.
Yes, oh yes, yeah.
I mean, really blossomed in Australia
No,
with your
really.
families, each of your families, and you shared each other.
I know. No, we've been a close family. Not a clingy family, not clinging to the parents or to the sisters, but we were close. No arguments. I can never remember having any arguments with your mother. Auntie Elaine, never. Auntie Yasmin, a little, no, because we were so close to each other. I mean, close, not too many years apart. Now from your mum, we're 3 years apart. We looked after, after like a baby, we treated her like, we knew she was the youngest one, we wanted different. With Auntie Elaine, again, she was years older than us. But because we were so close to our age, Auntie Yasmin and I, we saw different people have little arguments, you know, all the time, but then nothing.
Was she the bossy one? Was she the bossy one?
Yes, she was bossy.
Has she changed?
Well, a little bit, not much really. You can't change. You can never change whatever. You are gifted when you're from birth. You can never change. You can change your ways, but you can think about it and mellow a little bit. Like she has, not as bad like she was, very bossy and very, but the older she gets, some people mellow with age and others again, they become more aggressive. But under Yasmin, she has mellowed. Yeah.
And Elaine?
The Elaine, that's different. No, that's Sophie now. Hi. Sophie, come to my rescue, please.
Is he still badgering you, Mum?
She's still here, yeah.
She's pleading with me.
Manuel, give the poor woman a rest.
Okay, you want to take over?
Me?
I have the
No.
best daughter-in-law, one and a good one.
Yeah. Tell me about
So,
your daughter-in-law.
pardon?
Tell me about your daughter-in-law.
Oh, you are.
Manuel.
Well, I'm very happy with my daughter-in-law. I'm lucky that I have a daughter-in-law as good as that.
You've done well actually with your son-in-law too, haven't you?
I've been very happy with my son-in-law. All right.
There's just one more question. Okay?
Yes, yes.
Your son-in-law is what nationality?
What nationality? Sri Lankan. But
What?
Sri Lankan?
What kind of Greek is a Sri Lankan?
What will I answer to that?
He's not a Greek.
He's
He's
not a Greek and he's not a real native Sri Lankan. He's got a mixture of bit of Spanish, Dutch, a mixture of beautiful mixture in his family. Yeah.
Unlike-
So you would have been worried at the time. Your daughter.
Oh well,
marrying a Sri
those years I
Lankan.
would have because you know why?
No, why?
Because she was underage. She met him, I think, when she was 16, 17, and all that time. Well, But we probably said to and we realized how much she loved him after that, and we didn't do anything, like to separate them. But her father said, well, he said, if you promise us to wait for till you're 21, at least we know we have tried to separate them, which we did separate them for a little while, not to see each other, just to see them, just to let us know that she really loves him or not. Well, we stopped her from seeing him for the 6 months, I think. With I don't know, she might have been singing it all that, but when she became of age, 21, she said, right, she said, I'm 21 now. I can make up my own mind. I still love the same man, and I want to marry him, but he said, I want to marry him with your blessings. So it was the day, she didn't wait one day, the day of her birthday. He said, right, I said, go and see your father. Her father was having a rest that afternoon. And your Papu and I were in the kitchen. And we expected to hear screams and yelling and all that. What do we see after an hour? It took them about an hour, like gossiping and talking about things. You see them, they come out in the kitchen smiling, and Papu had his arm around his Anne, and I thought, oh, thank God for that. There was no... He kept his promise because he said that she still loved him when the 21st, and give her the okay, the blessing. And so that's how it was.
I mean, even today,
Yes,
Greeks in Canberra
yes,
would get very upset with their daughters marrying a Sri Lankan.
yeah. I don't think so now.
Yeah,
not
today,
either.
still
Because
today
I've known a
in
few
Canberra.
Greeks now that go with...
But in retrospect, looking back now,
Maybe, yeah.
could you have asked for anything more?
I'm happy with even that now. I feel how ungrateful we were, how terrible we were to make our daughter miserable like that. She loved them. She never wanted to go out with anyone else. She had chances, a lot of people saying that your daughter, will make arrangements, marriage arrangements, but she never wanted anyone else. But no, she's happy. Seeing her happy, I don't think she ever wished that she married anyone else. She loved him. She loved him so much, yeah. And he's a good son-in-law, Manuel. What else could I want? He's a wonderful son-in-law. He's very caring. And I have a wonderful daughter-in-law too.
And the,
She's been wonderful to me. So I'm lucky. I thank God that I'm in good hands in every way. Children, daughter-in-law, son-in-law, grandchildren.
tell me about your aunt's children. Aunt's children.
Oh yes, yeah. What about them?
Yeah, tell me
They're
about
beautiful.
Them. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's beautiful about them?
They're gorgeous. They make me feel happy, especially when I was sick. I got there and they made a fuss of me. They're caring. They're caring, and I'm proud of them. Yeah.
Did you say that about all your children?
This
All your
one,
grandchildren?
yeah, I love him.
All your grandchildren are like that?
Yes, they're very caring, Manuel. Very caring. As much as they lead a busy life and all that, but they used to come. They visit me often enough. Yeah. And when Christopher gets older and he has his own car, he'll leave that long. I forget myself. You'll come and visit. Yeah, yeah, I want you. Yeah.
Of course he will.
Maybe the other place.
He'll take you to what's in a summer that's in Canberra. Coming in, yeah, we're going to Canberra, come on. just around the corner from Auntie.
Yeah.
It'll be just walking distance, you know.
That's true. Is that all, Daniel? You don't know more questions?
Oh, there's a lot more questions, but you...
What such as? What, back? Why back? Or, oh no.
So you wouldn't have anything, you wouldn't do anything different?
If I had the second chance, second life, no. I'd do exactly the same. And the only thing is I won't be so old-fashioned in my ways. I rebelled a little bit, you know, a bit different. I'll try and have my way.
Okay.
Liberated, I would, but not to complete, because I don't believe in that a woman take over. Like nowadays, a woman takes over, makes a man feel so, no, I don't like that. I want a man to be a man, not, but to have my own ways, like certain things.
What do you want for your grandchildren?
What do I want out of my
No, for your grandchildren. What do you want for them?
Well, to have health, the most important thing, and to meet someone for the rest of their lives. They're going to be marry someone that they could get on well together and never divorced. That's what I want out of my grandchildren. I'm asking too much, but that's what I want. I think every parent wants that, to see every grandparent wants to see that.
Is divorce so bad?
Nowadays, looking at it nowadays, well, yes. Because of the children. They have no children, it's nothing.
I mean, that was a big influence on the boys, wasn't it? A big influence on the boys.
Yeah.
You've seen that firsthand.
Okay. Manuel, I'm sorry, darling, but we have to
We will continue
leave
this.
you.
We will continue
Love you
this.
and leave you, yeah.
We will continue this.
Okay, that could be done too. Okay.
Certainly the next trip when you're coming home.
Yes, yes,
And when I come down to Melbourne,
yes.
I want you to walk around the house.
Mm-hmm. My
We'll go
house.
shopping together.
Yeah.
We'll
Also,
the
it's
camera.
mobile.
Why not?
ringing.
Yes, that's fine.
It's an net.
Okay?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, bye.
So where's your sister?
Disappeared, forgot something as usual.
What did she forget?
Well, was forgetting things, Manuel.
What did she forget?
Earrings. I have mine here. I'll put them
So
on.
this is a woman's thing. If you're going to go and visit another woman, you have
yes,
to have earrings,
yes,
do
we're going to visit your mother-in-law.
you? So you must have earrings.
I have promised her that I would go and see her next time I'm here in Canberra. So I always like to keep my promise. I'm glad it worked out all right. Otherwise I would have been...
So am I. So am I glad you're here.
Pardon?
So am I glad you are here. Did it
Me?
work? Yeah.
I'm glad that I'm here.
No, I am glad that
Yeah.
you are here.
Thank you, Manuel. Thank you for that. I'm happy to be here with you.
I feel naked with that now.
There she comes.
So
The
what did you
camera's
forget? Mum?
waiting for you, so get in.
What did you forget?
My earrings.
Your earrings?
I was going to say, I was going to say to get on stick.
Wasn't I
But
lucky?
then I saw you put your foot in there, you know what you do.
You weren't flying almost, huh? There's no cloud.
Can imagine the beautiful early in the morning, Manuel. Yeah.
These are the tomatoes
It's a
from...
lot of work, Manuel. You have